Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to share with you some top tips on how to get started on eBay, how to have success on eBay as a brand new seller. So stay tuned. So tip number one would be buy something that you can at least get a 10 times return on, 10x return on, which is 10 times your money. If you're charging for shipping and you say you spend $1 on them, I'd at least try to sell it for $10 plus shipping, at least to get $10 plus shipping on it. At least you can sell it for that price. And if you're doing free shipping, and say that item costs $5 to ship it, then I would try it. Or if you start doing free shipping, because you see the Amazon method, like think of Amazon now. There's free shipping on a lot of things. Not everything do you have to free shipping on it. You can charge shipping on the items, some, but it just really depends on your item and like your niche you're selling in and what item. Some niches you can't charge shipping on eBay. Some niches you can. So just depends. Or if you have a big heavy item, you might charging shipping. You can't do free shipping with like a big heavy item usually, unless everyone's doing free shipping on that item. But if you're charging for shipping, at least try to sell, and you buy them for $1, at least try to sell for $10 plus the cost of shipping, or $9.99, because I always do the 99 cents, but $9.99 plus shipping if you buy it for $1. And then if you're doing free shipping and it costs $5 to ship it, at least try to sell for $14.99 plus shipping. That way you're making pretty much your 10x return. I mean, yeah, it's not $10, exactly $10, but the 99 cents is always like a strategy that always works. Selling something for 0.9 cents. Alright, like whether it's 99, 09, 19, that always works for me. Doing the 99 cents, so I don't know why. Maybe people don't see it as like a whole number. Maybe people see, it's $40, you think $40. Maybe if it's $9.99, or you think $10. You don't think $10, Maybe you see $10 and you're like, the $10 even, that kind of scares people away, Or maybe if they want, so who knows, but I would do that. And then I would also, if you're a new seller, as a new seller, if the item is going for say $1, if you buy an item for $1 and let's just say $20 average price, it's going for an average $20. Well, you can't necessarily sell it for the average price as a new seller. If it's say between 15 is the lowest and 25 is the highest, say, so $20 is the average. I would sell it actually under market value as a new seller. I did auctions as when I first started. So you can start out doing like auctions if you have something that would be, like if you go into like the completed, if you search for an item on eBay, like say like Xbox 360, and then on the left hand side, you can go to completed. You can go to scroll down, and if you're on the computer, or if you're on the, and you can go to completed items, and you can go to sold items. And there's like a tab on the right side. You can do completed item. You can do the 3 bars on the top right, and you can sort by and you can sort by completed and sold items, and then you want to go to sold items because I'll sort completed as well. I'll bring in completed as well. And what you want to do is, and then you can filter by auction, buy it now. And if you have an item that might be popular enough, to sell an auction, I would, you could definitely sell an auction, because then people might see like, oh, you're starting out low starting price. You're a new seller, so people might be like, oh, I'm gonna take a chance on this new seller. This item is going for $20 on average. Even the cheapest on eBay is like $15. Say, I'm gonna buy it from them. At least if something goes wrong, at least get my money back. They have protection in place. If you don't ship the amount, or if you say the auction gets paid for and you don't ship it out, within your stated times, or even if some people, maybe you're a new seller, I'll give them a little bit of benefit, But after a while, they'll just be like, I'm gonna get my money back on it, and that doesn't look good as a seller, So make sure and I would recommend, even if you're doing a buy now, I'd recommend maybe pricing it at like $20, and maybe for like $18. Maybe even like less than that. Maybe you could do 17 or 16, or if the cheapest one, maybe like my example is $15. You can do like $14.99. I would do $14.99 then. And if they're doing, if games are with like free shipping almost entirely, I would do free shipping. If they're most of the listings are charging shipping, I would charge shipping. Like I would get like a scale and like a little postal scale. You can buy off like Amazon or eBay or whatever, or like stores. I would weigh the M and like put the M on there, weigh it, and then put that in your listing, because you can go to like listings and you calculate shipping. And I would use like USPS Ground Advantage, and ship out that way for like 4 ounces or 8 ounces or a pound, or much, unless it's like a really big item. Then maybe use UPS Ground or FedEx Ground, depending on where you live, where there's closer to you, or in your area, So, and then another tip is, I would say is cleaning your items. You don't clean your items, and if you don't clean your items, you can't get more for your items. If you have, like, I sell small engine parts, and I see people that don't even attempt to clean their items. I'm not I'm not the best. I can't get everything up. I have something where I can get everything up perfectly 100% clean, every time. But I'm a lot better than most people. And if you even with like basic like cleaning methods, or like cleaning products that you have, or or if you're something that like going to be serious about it, and you need some cleaning methods, products, I would invest in some good high quality cleaning products, that like work and you can use, depending on for what you're selling, whether you're selling clothes, you're selling shoes, you're selling, this like smaller parts, or whatever the case is, you want to be able to clean your items, because if you don't clean your items will be worth less. Like, yeah, I don't have stuff to get like rid of like stickers off cases, and you can't always get rid of the stickers off cases. I mean, sometimes you can, but like it rips like the manual, or rips like the paper inserts, or sometimes the inserts are like ripped in, like this video game, like the inserts already ripped right there. Like, so there's nothing I can do, about it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's not the insert itself, it's just the paper on the outside. But yeah, it's stuck to the paper on the outside. So it's ripped right on the outside. So all that Sunday stuff, you try it and it rips, and it tries to like rip through the paper on the outside, so it's you can't do nothing about it. But if you can clean your items, anything you can clean, I definitely clean because that can bring you more money, and can bring you, well, this person actually, it's not just something like they found they found in their house, and it's a dirty, dusty item. Say it's been sitting in their closet for a while, and they found in the closet, or or had in their basement, or whatever the case was, for a long time, or whatever they think, they didn't even clean it, it's like, no, make it look like more presentable, best as you can, I would kind of invest in some of that early on, invest in like cleaning products, clean items, because that's going to go a long ways. Title, and if you have good high quality items, and good high quality title, good high quality cleaning, ship on time. You want to ship within 24 hours if you can. I do 40 hours just because in case I have something going on, but I do 40 hours at the most, I wouldn't recommend doing any more than 40 hours on your items because, especially if you have a full-time job. I mean, you say 40 hours would be work, but don't do more than that, because if you do 3-day handling or 4-day handling, glass sellers, unless you have like a ton of feedback and stuff like that to bolster you with, like doing like when you're like a routine seller, a big time seller, with like tons and tons of, like thousands of feedbacks, tons of feedbacks, like tons of established feedbacks. Don't do 3, 4, 5-day handling. You can't get away with it then. If you have like a high number, if you're an established seller, like a big trust, like a big high volume seller, maybe able to get away with it a little bit more. But people want their items like now. They don't want to like wait. Like if they're, people don't want to wait like 2, 3. People don't want to wait like 3, 4, 5 days. You might wait a day or two, because even Amazon, like with their Prime members, sometimes you have to wait a couple days, but don't wait like 3, 4, 5 days to ship the items out. Don't, because your customers your people that buy from you will not want to buy from you again. And if they remember your username, buy from you again, and they'll just buy somewhere else. Pay that a little bit more to actually get their items. And titles, I would recommend, if you go to the sold items feature, and I would recommend like doing, and you can click in the item, and should be, click on listing, there should be a spot that says sell one like this, like sell now, or if you have the eBay app, sell one like this. And I would click on it or tap on it, click the sell now on the PC, or tap on, click sell one like this on mobile app, and it will copy the title for you. And then the item specifics underneath it, I make sure the item specifics are relevant to you. Some, they sell their items, but they have the wrong item specifics are a little bit off, or or they're not filled in properly, or they have stuff that's just like NA, for some. So I've had to like get rid of all the NA, or get rid of some unnecessary ones that don't matter, to me, So I would definitely do that. Definitely have the right aim, right title. Make sure everything's spelled right in the title. And use synonyms in your title, like if you're selling like television, say TV, say television and TV, or say radio. If you're selling radio, say stereo. That's another word for radio. So that would definitely help you sell your item a lot better, and you can get like the more money for it, or at the very least, even if you can get a quicker sale out of it. So that always helps, to get a quicker sale out of it. I would also recommend promoted listings. Promoted listings are where you have to pay eBay a percentage of your sales that you choose. I wouldn't recommend going like really high on your items. I'd only recommend going like I do like 2.5%. In eBay before you used to do 1% to 100%. And what I would do is now they make it do 2% to 100%. And I won't do anything more than like 2.5%. I don't do I do 2.5%. The reason why is because there's a lot of people that do just that don't want to promote their listings. Like they think, oh, I don't need to promote my listings on eBay one bit, And yeah, sometimes you don't need to, or some listings you don't need to, or some you don't, you know what I mean? But like I've had a streak where every single one of my items that was an auction for the last 3 days everything was promoted. If I didn't have promoted listings, I wouldn't be selling that stuff. So, or I mean, I might, but I wouldn't be selling as fast. So, I might sell a few items, but I wouldn't sell a ton. So, you gotta take it sucks having to pay like an extra 2%. But if you do the minimum, you might be competing with a bunch of people who promote listings. I know I have to promote my listings, but I want to promote my listings, and get the added exposure in somewhere. But I don't want to give eBay a dime more. I actually have to at the bare minimum. I do 2.5 because some people know that 2.01 or 2.1 because they know eBay, because they know that people are going to do like the bare minimum, like 2%, and some people might do a little bit over the bare minimum. A lot of people are going to be at the bare minimum, like 2. There's a lot of people probably at 2.01 or 2.1. So 2 and 2.5 absolutely works perfectly. So that's what I do. And it works all the time. And you also want to, if you get like a message on eBay, an eBay message, I would definitely recommend replying to eBay customers every day, at least once a day, at least in the morning. I would, in the morning, like say on Monday is your first day on eBay and you have say 10 items listed, I would recommend and someone send a message to you about something. And I would have good title, and I also have good descriptions, like good high quality descriptions, good high quality photos. They take good high quality photographs with your phone and display like if there's a flaw in the end, display every flaw in it, or display like everything that you do. Like if you're selling a shirt, I would display like the size, display the front, the back, size tag. Like if there's a size tag and a brand name tag, I would display that, take pictures of that. Maybe measurements from pit to pit, or like the length, up and down length, of that item. Because it's like not all brands fit are the same, and they might be smaller, they might be larger, stuff like that, And I would if they ask, I would want to make sure you know at least the basics of your item that customers are going to ask, because if you don't, and they have a question, chances are they might not buy from you, And if you can if you're not sure about it, you can do some research in Google or like another search engine, see if you can. I've done that before in the past too, and I've also and it worked out, and all these tips help you gain and positive feedback. And your positive feedback ring is how many people leave you a positive transaction. You get one. Most sellers leave one when buying. If you buy an item, they'll leave it automatically for you when you're buying. I know I do have it automatically set to buy. And if you're eBay automatic generated ones, just pick one of them. It goes through all of them. And then just leave feedback automatically. And there's some as a seller, they only leave it they only leave feedback for you if you're buying. If you leave them feedback, they'll leave you feedback. So some people want the feedback. some people don't want the feedback as a buyer, so they know, and they find, if the seller does that, they won't read them feedback, because or I just have a separate buying account on eBay, which is actually which is totally legal on eBay. You can have like one account to buy and an account to sell on. So that's what I do. So I don't have feedback going on my buying account. That's for eBay shipping supplies. But yeah, it's not bad though. And personally do that because your feedback is everything. It revolves around your eBay feedback. And if you don't have good feedback on eBay, your sales are going to suffer from it. Your sales are going to really suffer from it. So you want to make sure your sales don't suffer from it. You want to have good feedbacks. Make sure you don't get like a negative feedback, which is a bad customer experience, or a neutral feedback. And if you do, it's some ways you're never going to get around it because some customers will never respond to you. They'll leave feedback for you. They won't even message you. They'll just leave you negatives automatically. So it's nothing you can do about it. But if they leave you a message and give you a chance to correct it, I would definitely fix it. And when you're first starting on eBay, I would also recommend if you have a bunch of items around your house you do. Yeah, I would definitely practice listing no matter what it is. If it's a video game, if it's a t-shirt doesn't fit you. If it's a video game, you don't play anymore. If it's a DVD, you don't watch anymore. If you have that old VHS player, you don't watch anymore. You don't use anymore of that. Or a DVD player you don't use anymore. Stuff you don't use anymore around your house. I would recommend, as long as it's in good, decent condition. If you have electronics, they're working, t-shirts. If it doesn't have a flaw in it, a hole in it. But it depends on how much it's worth. Is it worth say the DVD player is worth $50? Is it worth someone going to pay say $50 plus shipping? Is someone going to pay $10 plus shipping on it to say fix it? If so, then I could sell as parts to repair. Or is that $50? Is that shirt $50? Someone might pay $10 for it to with a hole in it, a hole in it, and will they try to sew it up and fix it up? And try to get more money. Try to sew it up. And, will they? Some people might, but honestly, you want to make sure about that before actually looking it up. But typically, as long as if it's something that's working or in good, decent condition, I would recommend you can list it. And I would recommend listing stuff in a house that you don't use anymore. Because this way you can get some money and some cash flow, and you can get rid of items instead of having a garage sale or yard sale for those items. You can or have it take up space, cluttering your house. You can get rid of the items, and you can sell them on eBay, right away. And sell on eBay, through auctions or buy it nows, and get some practice listing items, shipping items, taking pictures, responding to messages on eBay, getting some positive feedback built up in your system. And if you can list, when I'm a newer seller, I actually did exclusively auctions, and I listed stuff around my house, and then I ended up doing an auctions on a bunch of stuff. And I would recommend doing auctions on a bunch of things too when you first start out, if you can, because that actually will get you some good cash flow, and people might see that you're offering deals. They might be willing to pay you, and you might not get as much as it's worth. If it's average, say $50, you might only get $30. You might only get $40 for the item. For a $50 free shipping, you only get say $30 for it, or $40 for it. Free shipping. But at least you're getting something for that item. you know, and you can build up your cash flow. Because I mean, the more experienced you are, like I am, I actually get less sales that are offers that are from best offers. Yes, I still get some best offer sales that I take. I still send out some offers to watchers. Not all the time, but I do. And I do get sales that way. So it just depends, what you want to do, But, it just depends on, But, I mean, even if you never do a list to buy now ever on eBay, unless it's, like, a category that, like, auctions are, like, never work in, you can actually make, like, I know sellers, like, who list stuff exclusively on auction. I've seen sellers who don't do anything but auctions. And, like, as a seller, like this game, like I'd list it for, say, $6 free shipping. Because that's what it's about worth. So if it's, say, worth $6 free shipping, I'm buying it now. Probably in free shipping, I was, say you can do, you might only get, say, like as a new seller, you might only get $3 free shipping. But the more experienced you are on eBay, like if you have like zero feedback, you may only get $3. But if you have 100 feedbacks, you may get $4 for it. And if you have 1,000 feedbacks, you may get $5 for it. Or it's like a thing where the more feedbacks you have, and if you start out items like 99 cents free shipping, like I do in auctions, my auctions, I do. In that way, if you see, like I was selling stuff in a niche, one little niche for a while, like a niche in small engine parts, and like I was getting a bunch of followers that way, and for my eBay account, I was getting a bunch of followers, like listing a bunch of things at auctions for like low prices, and like that actually brought a lot of traffic to my store because people see, you can get good deals on eBay, from this seller. I'm gonna go buy them and then spread the word. Leave this person positive feedback. If they have a good transaction, I leave them positive feedback. Helps boost them in the algorithm. Sales, you get start out low prices. You can get like good quality items, if people want to buy, and you can get like they have a hot auction eBay after 5. Like I think it's like 6 bids on the auction. It's considered hot, and you can get like you can get like more bids, more bids on it, and then routinely, and if it's getting trending, or you can get trending auctions essentially, and you can make more money on these auctions, and you can get like more regular shoppers. And I've seen people like try to list stuff and they'll get like maybe like regular prices that like might get like almost close to buy now, or like buy now price, or even a little bit higher maybe than buy now price, because they know like they're a good trustworthy seller, and they can get like about the same as buy now, or pretty close to buy now, because of the fact that like it works out. And I don't do buy auctions or anything, but anything that like I can do, I'm not sure on the price of it, or there's so much of it on eBay, there's so many of those lists on eBay, and there's like so much variation in the prices, like the Xbox 360 controller I have. There's so much variation in prices in different conditions, and I don't want to undersell it, but I don't want to underdo it, but I don't want to overprice it, but I don't want to underprice it either. I can auction it and just say 99 cents free shipping like I did, and just know that I'm happy with whatever it sells for, and I'm just gonna let it ride, and whatever it sells for, so I'm just happy, or stuff you can't like find prices for it, or it's like in different condition than the other ones that are on there. I don't know what to price at. But if you know what to price it at, but if you do that, you can get like good routine prices on it. Or if you see sellers that like know what the price range at, and that some sellers only do auctions, and and they know they can get like more for their items, or get, more routine customers, more regular shoppers on eBay, more followers on eBay, more money for their items on auctions, and actually sell items within 7 days. I would love to be in a place where I could only do auctions on eBay. Like, yeah, I could only do auctions on eBay. I could sell something for I could buy something for $1. Maybe it's worth, say, $10. Maybe sell for $8, $9. Do the volume method and make, like, if it's worth $10 but $9.99 plus shipping, sell for, say, $8 plus shipping on auction, or even $8 on auction. Do the volume method, or not even, and just routinely sell them. Just make some money on them, and just go, and just flip the items quickly, instead of sitting on them for now. That would be the way to go too. And if you're in the beginning, you want cash flow, or probably the same. We don't have a lot of space to store your inventory. Like you only have like a small spare room to store your inventory in. That's all you have to store your inventory in, and you don't have like a lot of room to store inventory in. Yeah, I would recommend maybe, turning over items quickly. It just depends how much space you have, or, so yeah, that's it. So, next time, take care.